Have you ever felt stuck, like you're pushing against something day after day and getting nowhere? Like no matter how hard you try, the weight just doesn't lift. It's a feeling we all know, isn't it? That heavy ache of frustration, the quiet despair of feeling powerless. I want to tell you a story. A story about a gardener, a stone, and the surprising strength found in simply being. Old man Tiber lived at the edge of the village, his garden a splash of color against the gray stone hills. He wasn't known for the size of his garden, mind you. Others grew bigger vegetables, more vibrant flowers. But Tiber's garden, it felt different, peaceful. It drew people in, not with spectacle, but with a quiet sense of well-being. Now, Tiber had a problem. Right in the middle of his most carefully tended patch lay a stone. A large, gray, stubbornly immovable stone. He tried everything. He dug around it, attempting to loosen the earth. He'd levered at it with long poles, straining until his back ached. He'd even asked the strongest men in the village to help him roll it away. Nothing worked. The stone remained. For years, Tiber battled with that stone. It became an obsession. He'd spend hours each day trying to dislodge it, muttering under his breath, his brow furrowed with frustration. He'd tell anyone who'd listen about the injustice of it all. A perfectly good patch of earth, wasted on a useless rock, he'd lament. One day, a young boy named Kai came to visit the garden. Kai wasn't interested in the flowers or the vegetables. He was fascinated by the stone. He sat beside it, tracing its rough surface with his fingers. Tiber, watching him, scoffed. "What do you see in that thing, boy? It's nothing but trouble." Kai looked up, his eyes bright. "It's strong," he said simply. "It doesn't try to be anything else. It just is." Tiber chuckled, a dry, humorless sound. "Strong. It's a hindrance. It prevents me from growing anything there." "But it doesn't need to grow anything," Kai replied. "It just holds space. It's a quiet strength." Tiber dismissed the boy's words. He continued his efforts, growing more and more disheartened with each failed attempt. He started neglecting the rest of his garden, his energy consumed by his battle with the stone. The vibrant colors began to fade, the vegetables grew smaller, and the peaceful atmosphere began to dissipate. People stopped visiting. One evening, a traveling monk, Brother Silas, came to the village. He heard about old man Tiber and his stubborn stone. Curious, he walked to the garden. He found Tiber slumped beside the stone, looking defeated. "You seem troubled, friend," Brother Silas said gently. Tiber poured out his story, his voice thick with frustration. "I've wasted years trying to move this stone. It's ruining my garden, ruining my life." Brother Silas listened patiently, then asked a simple question. "Tell me, what is it you truly want from your garden?" Tiber hesitated. I want to create beauty. I want to grow things that nourish others. I want to feel useful." "And does this stone prevent you from doing those things?" Brother Silas asked. Tiber frowned. "Well, it takes up space. I could grow more if it weren't there." "But you are growing things," Brother Silas pointed out, gesturing to the remaining patches of Tiber's garden. "You are still creating beauty, still nourishing others. The stone simply occupies a small part of your space. It doesn't diminish what you can do." Tiber looked around, really looked around, for the first time in a long time. He saw the flowers that still bloomed, the vegetables that still grew, the small patch of herbs he'd almost forgotten about. He realized Brother Silas was right. The stone hadn't stopped him from gardening. It had simply changed the shape of his garden. "But it's an imperfection," Tiber protested weakly. Brother Silas smiled. "Imperfection is where beauty often resides, friend. A perfectly smooth stone is beautiful, yes. But a stone weathered by time with cracks and crevices tells a story. It has character. And sometimes, the things we perceive as imperfections are actually opportunities for something new." He then asked Tiber, "Have you ever considered working with the stone instead of against it?" Tiber stared at him, confused. "What do you mean?" "Instead of trying to remove it, perhaps you could build something around it. A small wall, a resting place, a focal point for the garden. Embrace it as part of the landscape, rather than fighting against it." The next day, Tiber did just that. He gathered smaller stones and carefully built a low wall around the large gray stone. He planted trailing vines that softened its harsh edges. He placed a small wooden bench beside it, creating a quiet corner for contemplation. And something remarkable happened. The garden began to flourish again. People returned, drawn not just by the flowers and vegetables, but by the peaceful atmosphere and the unique beauty of the stone garden. Tiber found himself spending less time struggling and more time creating. He discovered a new sense of joy in his work, a joy that came not from conquering obstacles, but from accepting them. One afternoon, Kai visited again. He sat beside the stone, smiling. "See," he said to Tiber, "it was always strong, it just needed to be seen." Tiber smiled back, a genuine, heartfelt smile. "You were right, Kai. It wasn't about moving the stone. It was about changing how I saw it." He turned to Brother Silas, who was observing them from a distance. "I spent so long fighting against what is that I almost missed the beauty of what could be." Brother Silas nodded. "Life often presents us with stones, friend, obstacles that seem insurmountable. We can waste our energy trying to remove them, or we can learn to build something beautiful around them. The choice is ours. And that, my friends, is the lesson I want to share with you today. We all have stones in our lives. Challenges, setbacks, things we can't change. Don't waste your precious energy fighting against them. Don't let them consume you with frustration and despair. Instead, accept them. Understand that they are part of your journey. And then, with wisdom and creativity, build something beautiful around them. Because sometimes the greatest strength isn't in removing the obstacles, but in finding the quiet strength to simply be, to adapt, to grow, to create, even in the face of adversity. The stone wasn't the problem. The problem was Tiber's refusal to see its potential, to accept its presence, and to find a way to live with it, rather than against it. So, the next time you feel stuck, the next time you're facing a seemingly immovable obstacle, remember old man Tiber and his stone. Remember that true strength isn't about power over things, but about peace within them. Remember that sometimes the most beautiful gardens are the ones that embrace their imperfections. And remember, you are stronger than you think. You always have been.